Good morning, Interneters. That is the truth. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. Good morning, Interneters. What do we got? Paula Scholl first on the board. Extra points to you. Randy Carnes, my man. So, Randy, is this your last show in Ohio for a while? Or are you leaving tomorrow early? Or is Wednesday your last day? I'm so confused. I don't know your schedule, Randy. I feel like I should. Karen Buzzard, that's my ma. Talked to her a couple times yesterday. It was pretty sweet. Jim Black, good morning, my friend. Eddie Ambras. Gosh, I love Eddie Ambras. That's my aunt. Let's see. Kathleen Beckett Napier. Julie Stover, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Don't spill the coffee. See, I hadn't even thought about the possibility of spilling it, and now I'm worried that I'm going to spill it if I do a fancy pour in like that again. So no, and now I probably won't do that again. I don't know. I'm kind of a risky. I'll try stunts. It's no problem. Sue Francis, good morning. Sue's my aunt. Betty Carlson, also my aunt. Good morning. Jason Bragg, good to have you on here, buddy. I just see up above there you've been busy. Well, springtime, everybody's cars, all the rattles and shakes and bangs and all the stuff that has been driving them crazy. In the wintertime, you sort of I do my own stunts now that you mention it. I'm a rebel. That's right, Julie. I'm a rebel. But everyone's tired of that squeak and that grind and that this brake's making a weird noise. So springtime's always a good time in the car biz. I did see, I can't believe it's still going on, the catalytic converter theft business. I don't understand it, but I mean, geez. So when Jason and I and Kathleen, when we were all working together, that was just starting. So that was 5-ish, somewhere around there. And people, if you don't know this happens, let your old Uncle Buzzard give you a tip. So people, bad guys, thieves, evildoers, as we like to say, will sneak into your home parking lot or malls or wherever with a battery-powered, like a Sawzall, what I would call a Sawzall or a reciprocating saw, and cut the catalytic converter off of your car. Just steal it. And then I guess they sell it. I don't know. I don't know what you do with it. Like, why a used catalytic converter is worth money. I don't know. Maybe it's made full of meth or something. I don't know. But Julie, you're bad. Yes, you're a rebel or I'm a rebel. I don't even know. Let's just say we're rebels, and absolutely. Ruthie, good morning. Yeah, so that's what I've seen, Jason, is you've been putting these like the armor around a catalytic converter, because a lot of catalytic converters are super expensive to replace. I mean, geez, back when we were doing it, it was, I mean, several hundred, like $500-600, something like that, maybe more. I don't know. So it's just the platinum. They have platinum in them. Well, that's a platinum record. No, it's really not. I mean, so that's so crazy that they steal the exhaust system off your car or a piece of it for the platinum. Dave Dixon, greetings, my friend. I hope you're having an excellent walking day in Northumberland. It's an excellent town. Your photos are always magnificent, and I hope you've been bothering the neighbors with your guitaring. It was a good ticket item, Kathleen. That's right. With a rebel yell, spilled his coffee. That's about as rebellious as I get these days. Is long. The old long pour. I do my own stunts. That's really hot coffee. Like, I'm risking a fairly decent slight burn. So Just let everybody know. Brian Fink, yo, what's happening? Good to have you on the show. Good to have James Ranking on the show. Kathleen, always a pleasure. So it's Tuesday here in Columbus, Ohio. I believe it's Tuesday almost everywhere else right now in our viewership. And interesting, mostly everywhere else. Brian Fink, well, that's side conversations, no problem. So I was reading an article. No, I was reading a book with pages and everything. I was talking about Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers, and that is Jackie Chan level stunts. But I was talking about Fred Rogers in the show, and the over 1,000 episodes, and the volume of material, and the reasoning behind his the way he was. Like he he did good things for the right reasons. The book I'm reading is Stillness is the Key, and it's talking about, in this particular chapter I read last night, was about Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers, PBS, children's television legend. And the book summarized the show, that like the grand arching theme of the show was always to slow down, take a breath, and then move on, when something's difficult or whatever. And I mean, I don't remember that. But the one thing I do remember is the show always opened with a blinking. Remember, he had a traffic light in his little weird apartment or house. He had a traffic light with a train track going through it, but the traffic light always was showing yellow. And I just thought that was interesting, that that his entire arc of his show, again, over 1,000 episodes, and it's not like these episodes, where it's some knucklehead in front of a webcam with then a comedian 20 miles away in his basement doing shenanigans remotely with no ramifications of any kind. It does get me every time. I think it's so funny. So I think the myth of that is he was not that, but I actually, I don't know, but I believe it's a myth. Right, Mr. Rogers' house didn't have heat. That he was not. I believe that has been disproven, that he was not. It was like there was a legend going around that he was like some like great military hero or something like that. I don't believe that is true, but honestly, I'm not. I mean, the book that the chapter I read wasn't talking about that. Yeah, I mean, as a family, they just had a mission. They did great things. If you've never seen, there's two things Fred Rogers. I don't know why we're talking about Fred Rogers this morning. There's two things he did that were just extraordinary. You take his show and what he did for at the time, and really how he set the standard for children's television. It's phenomenal. Like, that alone is just an incredible thing. But in two different things. One, he spoke at Congress, I believe, and it was in defense of public television and what it brings, and it's very findable on YouTube and other platforms, I'm sure. But it is incredible. Little Mr. Rogers in his little sweater. I mean, he just backs down Congress like that. It was really just interesting that, like, he spoke with such truth that there's no defense to it, I guess, is basically it. And then the other thing is he got an Academy Award or a grant. No, what do TV people get? It's Academy Awards, right? No, the Oscars, which is whatever you get for TV stuff. It's not a Grammy, I know that, and I don't think it's a Tony. It's an Emmy. Thank you, Scott. See, you are good for something. He got like a Lifetime Achievement Award for his Emmy, and he didn't take that as an opportunity to be like, thanks, like to thank a bunch of people. He got up and he got up and told his he stood, he talked down Hollywood too. Like, you guys have a a job to do. It's not to just be standing here, but he did it in the nice Mr. Rogers way, not how like I would piss everybody off. He did it in a way that was like, yeah, we should do better. So, anyways, Fred Rogers this morning, they were all in a good mood. So yeah, Emmy, Dundies. God, I wish I could win a Dundee. That is The Office. So I think we've talked about this before, but you know, so she just died a few weeks ago. I didn't realize that. I thought she had died a little bit longer than that. Well, to the Rogerses. Did I tell you I have a hot plate for my coffee? It's so awesome. Like I just set the mug on top of it, and it's gurgling at 149 is what it says. I don't know if it's just the number that's there. That's surely not the temperature, but that's what the plate is 149, and coffee's always nice and toasty. I find I don't drink it gulp it as much, which is nice. Yeah, I totally squirreled there. Sorry. It happens. What are you gonna do? Yeah. So the model I have is Ceylon. Yeah, it was probably the cheapest one on Amazon. Is probably what I did. But like when I was watching TV as a kid, for me, the first television show that was not a cartoon that really got me was probably a tie for the 1966 Batman show, starting Adam West and Burt Ward. And I could probably run the whole cast for you if you wanted to, but those two guys, and it ran for a few years, and only in reruns. I wasn't alive then. So that show, and then Gilligan's Island on reruns. Those were the two shows that really. This is why it's like up here. My genesis of entertainment is campy Adam West in his bat suit and Gilligan and Skipper. Like that's what's happening. Just a little peek inside. But back then, shows just ended for whatever reason. They never went to an ending. They just stopped being made, and rarely was there any that's a great idea, Brian. I think I'm gonna pass on that, but it is a great idea. Holy coconut, Skipper. Exactly. Imagine the things they made with coconuts. Like they always had these coconut cream pies. And because it's all coconut, it would have been very good for you. It wouldn't have been a traditional pie because they didn't have wheat and they didn't have dairy. I don't think there was any tropical cows there. And then Scooby-Doo. Yes, Scooby-Doo would be the next thing that's going on in here. I ever tell you about my reoccurring dream? I'll tell you about that sometime. It's weird. But so then, shows would just end. And then I don't know where it happened. Probably MASH was maybe the first time that a show ended. Like they finished telling their story. And that created this whole new thing of like, whoa, well, look what else we can do. We can run the show and then we can end it. And that's now how I judge a show. As far as like, how was the ending? How did they wrap up their story? And you said the Dundies. I still will always say The Office is I will argue it's a top 5 show of all time. Right. Well, but you know what? They just dated a neutral. They didn't gain weight or lose weight. So like Gilligan's, I bet Skipper was he had some rations hid. He seemed like one of those wily guys, or he was like catching sea turtles or something. And I think that island's in the Bahamas, by the way. If I remember correctly, if there's an island in the Bahamas that's the shot. That's of the Gilligan's Island. But The Office, I still feel ended spectacularly. One of the best endings of television of all time. Whereas I would argue the Cheers ending, which I remember we had a party to watch it. It was like, kind of lame. The Seinfeld ending, although remarkably telling of where we're headed in the future. It was pretty boring. Wasn't what you expected. But then in the 2000s, these shows like The Shield, I think, would be, and Sopranos and shows like that, they started bringing a different level. I would agree, Brian. Like, I don't like that. I'm not anti Seinfeld at all. I'm a huge fan of the man, and I appreciate the show. I didn't love the show, but I certainly appreciate the show. The ending, though, I just didn't get it. And I've tried watching it. So I was what? That show ended in 91 or 92. When did that end? Scott, if you have a second, I'd be curious what year the last year of the Seinfeld show was. But I think I was 21 or 22. Certainly not interested in pop culture at the time. I was in my own little world. So when Seinfeld ended, I watched it. And I didn't really know, didn't know what I was watching, but it didn't appeal to me. MASH, man, at the time, I hated that ending. I didn't. It was so weird. Dark, like super dark. It's probably go back and watch it. It probably is much better than I think it is, but 98? I'm thinking of Cheers. I'm confusing the Cheers ending when I watched it and the MASH ending, or the Seinfeld ending. But the Seinfeld ending, I didn't. 98. Wow. I believe you. I mean, I'm not going to look it up. Right. That chicken. And yes, and Jim in the Seinfeld episode, they go to jail for being guilty bystanders. And, you can say a lot about, there's a lot to be said for that. So anyways, so that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about television shows. Eddie Ambras is just talking to everybody, doing his thing. We've had some really nice weather here. Yeah, I'm the same, Jim. There's moments that I'm really in pop culture and then I'm out. Like, for example, Friends. I never really. Oh, so that show started when I was in college. Just when I was actually, I was already out. But I was still hanging out in college. Or my college friends, at least. Eddie, when did you graduate? Did you graduate in 92 or 93? Because I graduated in 92, but I hung out for a little bit longer. For all the proper reasons, because I wanted access to the library to read books. I like books. But yeah, but pop culture, me, I follow it or I don't. And like I've even like 93. That was probably smarter. I don't know if you guys know I was in a band. I was in a band. We had a record deal. Some things happened. Some songs were written. There was this girl. She was next door. But even that, in Saving Jane, we were a pop band. And what's funny is like my favorite channel on Sirius right now is Pop Rocks. And it's not because I think I'm going to hear us on there, but I should, but I don't, that's a whole other story. Because we were blacklisted. That's why. But the Pop Rocks is all the 2000s rock bands that were in the pop genre. Because now they're not. I mean, there's some guitars still left in pop music, but very, very, very little. And in that era, would be my era when I was in there, in the pop circuit, there was at least some guitars being played. And there was a whole section of bands that were actual bands. And that's my favorite channel. And I don't even know them. What's funny is I knew some personally, is obviously I'm exaggerating a little bit, but like I knew a lot of these bands that I'm hearing from being on, sharing bills or shows or whatever, or backstage kind of stuff, but I didn't know what they played and didn't care. It was weird. Such a weird thing. I didn't care for the pop music that I was going on at the time, yet I was in a pop band. And there you have it. That's where you go. So today, I believe. Yeah, I know, Brian. Like, I never talk about it. Like, right? All right. Yeah, I was in a band. I songs stuff. Very clever. So I took the coworker to school today, and it's pretty nice out, but it's not as nice as I was expecting. What band? That's exactly it. Jim, did you ever get that? I sent it to you. Did you receive it? That video? It is awesome. It is awesome and awful, but it's awesome. You know, it's fun to see us song singing. Yeah. Um Oh man. All right. Let's pull this ship into port. Um I took the knucklehead to school. I was expecting like this is a super light shirt. I walked out just with this on. I mean pants. I did have pants on. This is a family show. I don't go wandering around the neighborhood in my underwear anymore. I'll send it to you again. I have it. Uh, I'll send it to you. It's a pretty big file, so I might have to do Dropbox. I'll message you. Um, it's hilarious and awful, but amazing. So, and no, we're not sharing it. Maybe we'll share it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. That would be funny. Maybe I could cut it up into clips, show clips of the Great What Band. Now we're gonna do that. It felt like about 48 degrees today. That's where I was going with all this long story. Felt like 50. Touchdown. I have my own scoring system in here, and that is a touchdown, ladies and gentlemen. Third row back. What's Thursday? Third row back Thursday. I don't know what's going on. Is there a show Thursday? Am I playing somewhere? I needed to learn. I need to find this stuff out. Or does they feel like Thursday? It does a little bit. But Paula, you've been on a string of Mondays, so I get it. All right, everybody. I got to go. I got work to do. Oh, Throwback Thursday. There we go. Third row back. I thought Third Row Back sounded like a cool band name. That's actually what I thought. I'm like, that's not a bad band name. That's the way I think. I'm always like, Third Row Back. That's not bad. And it's still a Monday. So who knows? Third row back. Oh, third throwback, but that's not even what I saw. Yeah, I need another pair of glasses, apparently. All right, everybody. I'm gonna get to work and try to do something. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to do something, and I got to get permission from a few people to show the video just to make sure it's okay. I actually have a bunch of stuff that's kind of funny. Maybe we'll do that. You guys want to see where I came from? The Pat Buzzard early days stuff. That might be super funny. Whole new segment. Third row back Thursdays. That's what we're calling it too. I love it. All right, everybody. I love every darn one of you. And I'm super excited about this new project. I'm gonna show all the terrible. Now I say terrible in a sense of when you look back on it and you're like, oh, that just wasn't very good. But you were trying so hard. I like there's still like a yeah, you did it. Kind of thing. So, all right, you guys are amazing. I gotta go. I'll see you tomorrow. What is tomorrow? Today's Tuesday, right? Tomorrow's Wednesday. Hump day. All right. I love all of you. Even you.